Okay, we must speak seriously about how good Real Madrid are right now. Because what Xabi Alonso is building isn't just a winning team, it's a machine. A tactical, disciplined, cold-blooded machine that just ripped apart Barcelona at the Bernabeu and sent a message to the entire football world. Real Madrid are back to being terrifying. This wasn't a random victory, it was a statement. Xabi Alonso gave Hansi Flick a tactical masterclass, disarming Barca's midfield, neutralising Pedri, silencing Lamine Yamal, and completely containing Fermin Lopez. Every weakness Barcelona tried to hide, Alonso exposed. Every strength they tried to use, Alonso dismantled. And while Flick searched for answers, Madrid just kept slicing through lines like a surgeon with a game plan.
He'll cut onto that left foot if he can.
At the heart of it all, the white shirts shone brighter than ever. Kylian Mbappé once again proved why he's the most dangerous player on the planet, scoring, leading, and showing Lamine that talk means nothing when you can own the pitch.
You know what's happening, Lamine? You have to talk, but on the pitch. Not on YouTube, Lamine, not on YouTube. You have to talk, but on
That's now 11 La Liga goals for the Frenchman in a team that's evolving around him perfectly. And beside him, the rebirth of a giant Jude Bellingham. A goal, an assist, total dominance. The Englishman is back to controlling games with elegance and brutality at the same time. But perhaps the biggest headline isn't the scorers, it's the man on the touchline. Xabi Alonso has done what many failed to do. He's given Real Madrid identity. His first Clásico as coach, his first victory, and not a lucky one.
Even in the second half, when we controlled the match, I felt that the team did what we had discussed, that many things came together and that the victory was even short-lived, right? We could have had many chances, not only because of the penalty, but because of the chances. Then, without the ball, we worked very well, very organized, very supportive, and with the ball we also knew how we could do damage, so I'm very happy.
A controlled, surgical, dominant win that leaves Madrid 5 points clear of Barcelona and miles ahead in maturity, because Xabi is sending 3 messages. First, to his rivals. This Madrid not only knows how to win, it knows how to destroy.
Sure that's the only thing. Mbappé! What?
Second, to the world. They're not here to compete. They're here to conquer everything. And third, to his own dressing room. There's only one boss him. Even if Vinicius gets emotional, even if egos rise, Alonso's Madrid runs on discipline, order, and belief. A year ago, this team couldn't win the big games. They lost 4 straight Clásicos. They fell short in Europe. That Madrid is gone. The new one plays with intensity, precision, and a frightening calm. With Courtois, Militao, Huijsen, Carreras, Valverde, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Güler, Bellingham, Vinicius, and Mbappé, Alonso has finally found his perfect 11. But the most impressive part isn't the names, it's how Alonso makes them work together. Real Madrid unleashed their full arsenal in El Clásico, and if not for a matter of mere centimetres, this game could have ended in a historic thrashing. From the first whistle, it had everything: drama, flair, chaos, and of course, controversy. Because in El Clásico, there's always controversy. It all began in just the second minute, when the referee pointed to the spot after Lamine Yamal's challenge on Vinicius Jr. inside the box.
Why did Real Madrid fans explode just 2 minutes into the match? And why does it all point to Lamine Yamal?
The Bernabeu exploded, until VAR stepped in. On the replay, it was clear Vinicius had made contact first. No penalty, but you've seen them given before. Barely 10 minutes later, Kylian Mbappé looked to have scored one of those goals that live forever. A thunderous volley from outside the box, born from an Arda Güler interception and flick.
Mbappé! What? Slices across it, lovely finish.
The stadium roared, but the flag silenced it. Offside, marginal, millimetric. And yet, that was enough. But Madrid were relentless. They pressed, recovered, and carved Barcelona open like a surgeon with a plan. The breakthrough came from a Jude Bellingham masterstroke, a defence-splitting pass that found Mbappé, who this time made no mistake. Low finish, clinical, ruthless. 1-0, and Madrid in complete control. Barcelona hung on by a thread, praying for oxygen, until a mistake from Güler opened the door. A misplaced pass, a quick transition, and Fermin Lopez, assisted by Marcus Rashford, levelled the score. brief moment of chaos in what had otherwise been total Madrid dominance. But this wasn't just any Clásico, it was historic. For the first time in 123 years, an English player featured for both sides, and Bellingham made sure it would be remembered. Right before halftime, after a towering Éder Militão header across goal, Jude arrived like a predator at the far post to put Madrid back in front. The second half brought more VAR drama, a handball by Eric Garcia and another penalty for Madrid. Mbappé stepped up, but Wojciech Szczęsny guessed right, pulling off a spectacular save. You'd think that would fuel Barca's fight back, but there was nothing left in the tank. Flick's side looked hollow, leaderless the German coach watching helplessly from the stands, suspended while his players were overrun. The final minutes only deepened their collapse. Pedri, frustrated and late into a challenge, saw red for a second booking, igniting a touchline brawl that needed police intervention. Madrid's only blemish, Vinicius Jr.'s frustration after being substituted, a small flare of ego in an otherwise perfect performance. But when the final whistle blew, the message was clear. Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid are for real. Xabi Alonso has completely transformed Real Madrid, not just in spirit, but in structure. Since replacing Ancelotti, Madrid have evolved from a team dependent on individual brilliance into a collective masterpiece. The shift to a 4-2-1-3 system has redefined how this side attacks, defends and controls matches.
Este es el nuevo Madrid, José, lo dijimos al final del Mundial de Clubes. Es el nuevo Madrid. Y aquí el que no curra o el que no le salen las cosas al banquillo. Aquí no hay intocables. Y Xabi Alonso lo que lo va a hacer es cometer los errores que, por ejemplo, cometió Carlo Ancelotti, que ha cometido Zidane. Xabi Alonso viene con la carta blanca para hacer lo que...
Alonso has brought balance the precision of a chess player combined with the ruthlessness of a general. In possession, Madrid now build with rhythm and purpose. The team flows through Arda Güler and Jude Bellingham, two players who operate like mirrors, one dictating tempo, the other breaking lines. Their partnership creates a midfield square with the fullbacks and wingers, generating constant overloads, disorganising defences and feeding Mbappé in lethal zones. This tactical tweak has unlocked the best version of Madrid's attack: direct, vertical and unrelenting. But the true revolution lies at the back. 6 clean sheets in 12 games, a defensive solidity this club hadn't seen in years. Thibaut Courtois remains the guardian angel, producing the impossible week after week, like his miraculous save against Vlahovic in the Champions League. In front of him, the partnership of Dean Huijsen and Éder Militão has become unshakable. Huijsen, the summer's breakout signing, has brought calm and authority to the line, while Militão adds muscle and experience. On the left, Álvaro Carreras has been a revelation, shutting down Lamine Yamal completely in the Clásico 3 times in a row now.
Himself, Lamine Yamal looking to bend one. Seen that, haven't we?
On the right, it's the only uncertain spot, with Carvajal, Alexander-Arnold and Valverde rotating depending on the rival's demands. Midfield, however, is where Alonso's Madrid becomes terrifying. Aurélien Tchouaméni has become the heartbeat of this system, the destroyer, the regulator, the first spark of every attack. Ahead of him, Güler and Bellingham orchestrate like twin conductors. The Englishman has rediscovered his dominant form, 1 goal, 1 assist, and total control in the Clásico. While Güler's rise has been equally stunning, 3 goals, 4 assists, and an understanding with Mbappé that borders on telepathy.
Mbappé!
No duo in Europe generates more danger per match than Güler Mbappé. And then comes the attacker storm in white shirts. Madrid have scored 30 goals in 11 matches between La Liga and the Champions League, and Kylian Mbappé is the eye of that hurricane. "16 goals in 13 games, a phenomenon at the peak of his powers. His speed, movement and finishing have reshaped Madrid's entire attacking identity.
Today he is the best in the world. Today he is. When Mbappé is like this, there is no player who can be at his level. Aces, I tell you, because
On the left, Vinicius Jr. is finding his spark again, electric, unpredictable and perfectly complementary to Mbappé. The right flank remains the only unfinished piece, with Mastantuono and Brahim Diaz still rotating without fully claiming the spot. The genius of Alonso is how he's made it all work. High pressing, collective defending, ruthless verticality. This isn't about superstars, it's about structure. He's managed to make a dressing room full of egos play for something bigger than themselves. The result? Only one loss all season.
I'm left with many positive things from the match, many good things from Vinny. We'll talk about that, of course, but I don't want to lose focus on what's important. These are really things that we'll talk about, and within the great match that it was, Vinny also contributed a lot. All the other players, what we wanted to do, many of the things happened, and it's an important, deserved victory. Even short, we could say.
And when the big games come, Alonso doesn't just manage, he adapts. Against Barcelona, his tactical adjustment was pure brilliance. He shifted to a 4-4-2 hybrid with two clear objectives: overload the midfield to win second balls and launch Mbappé into space.
Kylian gets back to scoring again. What a wonderful assist by Bellingham.
And suffocate Lamine Yamal with a triple marking scheme. The plan worked to perfection. Barca couldn't breathe. What Alonso has built isn't just a winning team, it's a new Real Madrid philosophy, disciplined, modern and lethal. A side that no longer relies on miracles, because now they create them. We need to talk about Kylian Mbappé, because what he's doing right now in a Real Madrid shirt is simply outrageous. 16 goals in 12 matches, 9 straight games on the scoresheet in La Liga. This isn't just form, this is dominance. This is Mbappé, unleashed. The streak began back in matchday 4 against Real Sociedad, where he opened the floodgates.
It's not a good move. Mbappé through on goal.
Then came a ruthless double versus Olympique de Marseille. Followed by goals against Espanyol. A brace against Levante. And another against Atletico Madrid. He wasn't done. A Champions League hat-trick away to Kairat Almaty showed he's just as lethal under European lights. Then came Villarreal. Getafe, and of course, Barcelona. The only interruption, a quiet night against Juventus, but one game later he was back, as if he never stopped scoring at all. When Real Madrid signed Mbappé, this was exactly the vision. The biggest player, performing in the biggest matches. And there's no fixture bigger than El Clásico. These are the games that stop the world, and right now, Kylian Mbappé is the face of them.
Look at the goals, Grill. 12 goals in 9 matches in El Clásico. That is remarkable. Compare that to Karim Benzema. 16 goals in 46 El Clásico matches. And then the great Cristiano Ronaldo, 20 goals in 34. He's scoring more goals than he is playing games right now in El Clásico.
He wasn't always. His first meeting with Barcelona ended in a humiliating 4-0 defeat. Then came the 5-2 loss in the Supercopa, where he at least managed to get on the scoresheet. In the Copa del Rey, another loss 3-2, but again, Mbappé delivered. And when Madrid travelled to Montjuic on May 11th, he exploded with a hat-trick in a 4-3 thriller. The Frenchman couldn't stop the result, but he made sure nobody forgot his name. Mbappé has now scored in 4 consecutive Clásicos, joining an elite club reserved for legends Ronaldinho, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Six goals in 4 matches against Barcelona, a record that tells you everything about his mentality. The bigger the stage, the brighter he burns. He's endured plenty of pain at Barca's hands defeats, criticism, frustration, but this season, the tables have turned. He's not chasing revenge anymore, he's chasing greatness. After scoring 44 goals in his debut season for Madrid, he's already on track to surpass that number this year. Mbappé isn't just scoring, he's rewriting what it means to wear the number 9 at Real Madrid. And if this is just the beginning, Europe should be terrified. Kylian Mbappé is living the best moment of his entire career, and right now he looks unstoppable. Physically, he's a machine. At full speed, no defender in Spain or anywhere in Europe can catch him. His acceleration is violent, his timing perfect, and his understanding with his midfielders deadly simple. Pick up the ball and let the Frenchman run. You can see it every weekend against Real Sociedad, Real Oviedo. Mallorca, Getafe, and most recently Barcelona. Every time Mbappé attacks the space, the result is chaos. He has turned transition football into an art form and Real Madrid into a weaponized counter-attacking unit. But this isn't just Mbappé being Mbappé. This is the direct result of Xabi Alonso's re-engineering of Real Madrid. Since his arrival, the team has taken a strategic leap that borders on revolutionary. Intensity is now the identity. From the first training session to the final whistle, Alonso has demanded energy, speed and aggression, the kind of vertical football that modern football demands. Under Ancelotti, Madrid relied on talent. Under Alonso, they rely on system and physical dominance. Every movement has purpose. Every pass has direction. The press, once disorganized and inconsistent, now operates in perfect synchrony. No longer do Madrid chase shadows man to man. Now they press in units, suffocating rivals high up the pitch and recovering the ball in dangerous zones.
Presionando como Mbappé. Mira, mira, mira. Ojalá todos presionaran así, tío.
When they attack, the ball moves fast, clean, and direct 2 or 3 touches at most before finding the final third. Alonso has built a team that knows exactly when to hold, when to explode, and when to kill. Defensively, the evolution has been just as profound. What was once Madrid's Achilles heel is now one of its strengths. Through endless sessions of video analysis and repetition, Alonso has taught his players to defend as a block aggressive, compact, and intelligent. The improvement has been visible match by match. The signings of Huijsen, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Carreras, combined with the returns of Milito and Carvajal, have elevated the entire backline. Even the departure of Lucas Vázquez has helped stabilise the system. Against Real Sociedad in Anoeta, Madrid defended with 1 man less for over 20 minutes and didn't concede. Against Barcelona, they completely neutralised the most creative and dangerous players in world football: Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Marcus Rashford, and Fermín López. Against Juventus, when the Italian press started to suffocate them, Courtois appeared calm, commanding, unbeatable. And through all of this, one thing is clear: Mbappé is the leader of this team. Alonso has made it explicit on the pitch. The Frenchman is the reference. He takes the penalties, the free kicks, the responsibility. Every attack runs through him. Every defensive effort begins with his press. The dressing room knows it. This is Kylian's team. Of course, managing that dressing room has been part of Xabi's biggest challenge and his greatest success. His meritocracy model has shaken up the old hierarchies. He doesn't care about names, only performance. And that has caused friction. Mastantuono has been unhappy with his role. Bellingham was anxious about losing his central position. Valverde dislikes being used at right back. And Vinicius has even voiced frustration publicly. But Xabi hasn't flinched. He stands by his principles, the team above the ego. And the results justify him. First in La Liga, perfect in the Champions League, improving with every match. Alonso has built more than a team, he's built a culture. He's reconnected Madrid with its identity, youth, ambition, and ferocity. The fans feel it, the players believe it, and Europe is starting to fear it. For the first time in years, Real Madrid are not just winning, they're playing with conviction, unity, and joy. This is Xabi Alonso's Madrid. Modern, ruthless, electric, pure rock and roll, and Mbappé is the frontman. Xabi Alonso can finally breathe easy because he's managing one of the deepest, most complete squads in all of Europe. This Real Madrid isn't just talent-rich, it's two teams in one. Wherever you look, there's quality, experience and depth, ready to step in without the level dropping. In goal, Thibaut Courtois and Andriy Lunin form one of the most reliable duos in world football. When Courtois rests, Lunin responds calm, composed and improving every week. At centre-back, Huijsen and Militao are the first-choice pairing, but Alonso has the luxury of rotating with Rudiger and Asensio, who bring both leadership and physicality. On the left, Alvaro Carreras, Fran Garcia and Ferland Mendy provide very different profiles, one offensive, one balanced, one purely defensive. On the right, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Carvajal and even Fede Valverde when needed give Alonso tactical flexibility few coaches in the world can dream of. The midfield is a luxury orchestra. Tchouaméni commands the bass, but Camavinga can step in seamlessly, and Ceballos offers control and rhythm when Madrid need patience. Higher up, Jude Bellingham and Arda Güler are untouchable starters, young, creative and lethal, yet both have internal competition pushing them to stay sharp. And Valverde, of course, is the joker in the deck capable of playing box-to-box, on the wing, or even as full-back when needed. Then comes the forward line, a dream for any manager. Kylian Mbappé and Vinicius Jr. are the headline stars, a devastating duo capable of destroying any defence in the world. But Alonso's options don't end there. Behind them, Rodrigo, Brahim Diaz, Mastantuono, Endrick and Gonzalo Garcia ensure that freshness, creativity and unpredictability are always available. Every position has cover, every substitution adds value. This is not just depth, it's sustainable dominance, and that's what makes this Madrid terrifying. The road under Alonso is just beginning, but the signs are crystal clear. This team is balanced, disciplined and hungry. They're first in La Liga, flawless in Europe, and still far from their ceiling. They've mastered control without losing chaos, youth without losing maturity, and spectacle without losing results. If this Real Madrid continues like this, they're not just contenders, they're favourites for La Liga, for the Copa, for Europe. Because when you combine a genius like Xabi Alonso with a squad like this, you don't just build a team, you build an era. This team is serious now.